Hi everyone, I'm Anna. I'm from Colombia and I work with Frank. So I've been in charge of collecting all this information we've presented you in the past videos and the blog about Colombia reopening its air borders for international flights. In case you've missed the past videos, today I'm going to be talking to you about the most important requirements you must comply if you want to come to Colombia at this time of the year. As you may know by now, international air borders are open in Colombia, so that means you can travel now to Colombia, and also Colombians can go to certain countries. We're going to start with the requirements for the international flights to Colombia. So first of all, and it is mandatory and really important, is that you have a negative PCR test result for COVID-19 taken within 96 hours before your flight. If you take your test more than 96 hours before your flight, it won't be valid. Another important thing is that your test result must say PCR test. No other kind of tests are allowed. And this paper will be checked by the airline and also by Migración Colombia when you arrive in the country. The second thing that you must do is to fill an online form called CheckMic to facilitate your immigration control. You must fill this form between 24 and 1 hours before your flight. It is recommended that you just fill it out 24 hours before your flight so you won't forget it later. And this will be checked by Migración Colombia once you enter the country. Then you have to download an app called Corona app on your phone, and this is to report your health condition before your flight and for the next 14 days when you're in the country. So through the app, people will be checking on you to see if you have some symptoms or if you're all right. You can find the links to the CheckMic form and the Corona app in the description box. Then we have some other measures you should consider when you're in the airport or for any of your travels, and they're just common sense in this time. And if you have any symptoms like fever, you're coughing, or you don't feel well, you better stay at home because it is like an individual responsibility to care for you and the others. So if you have any symptoms, anyways, you won't be allowed in the airport. Also, you will have to wear your face mask all the time in the airport while in the flight, and you will have to wash your hands or disinfect your hands very frequently. Also, maintain your social distance of 2 meters, and for short flights, there won't be food service, and it is recommended to not use the bathroom. Now let's move on to the frequently asked questions that you may have. So the first one is, do you have to do quarantine once you arrive in Colombia? The answer is no. Quarantine is no longer necessary since the negative PCR test result is required for boarding. So you won't have to do quarantine. It was only necessary for humanitarian flights in September. And also it is important to note that Colombians cannot be refused entry to the country if they don't have like the test result. But those Colombians who enter without a PCR result will have to do quarantine. If you are a foreigner and you try to fly without a PCR test or with a positive test result, you won't be allowed to enter the country. Simple as that. Another common question is if you need a visa to enter Colombia. And that depends on your nationality. There are a lot of nationalities who don't need a visa to enter. They just need a valid passport. But you can check the requirements or more information about it in the Cancillería website, which we'll link down below. Another question is if you need health insurance to fly to Colombia. The answer is it is highly recommended that you have an international medical insurance policy to cover you in case of anything happens, but it is not a requirement. However, we've found that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs can check this information if you have a health insurance for your visa applications. So we recommend you have one. Anyways, it is a pandemic time, so it is better if you have one. Now, what if your visa or your tourist permit expires during the health emergency in Colombia? So if you were in the country during these months, from March to September, you can find more information in our blog about what you can do if your visa or your permit for tourism expires in this time. Now let's talk about international flights from Colombia to other countries. So the requirements depend on the country you're visiting. So we encourage you to do your research and check if the country you're visiting requires a PCR test result or not. The rest is the same. You will have to fill the CheckMe form online. Remember, 24 hours before your flight. Also download the Corona app and report your health condition before your flight and for the next 14 days. And use your face mask, wash your hands, maintain social distancing, and remain during your assigned seat during the flight. Now, for domestic flights, the only department or destination which needs a negative PCR test result is San Andres, and it also must be taken 96 hours before your flight. Now, since the 21st of September, 4 airports began to work, and those were the airports from Bogota, Cali, Medellin, and Cartagena. Today, there are a lot more airports functioning, and there are several routes to different cities within Colombia and to other countries. So now you will see on screen all the available flights. So that was it for this video. Remember to leave your comments or questions in the comment section down below, and we hope to see you soon here in Colombia.